I know it's late, right? Late. That's me, Mr. Late. I can explain why we're so late today. Just too much to do. You know what I mean? Too much to do. I'm looking for me. Whoops. There I am. I have to get notified myself that I am live. And so I know a lot of people say that don't get notified. Hey, Adam, how you doing, buddy? I don't understand why you're not being notified at all because I have to get notified myself. That's how I find myself. And so every time I do this, I always check and I got notified. And usually about I'll say the first, I don't know, it's hard to guess, but I'll say the first 10 or 20 people probably got notified also. So why other people say they're not being notified? I'm not saying you're not being notified because Sue's told me sometimes she don't get notified either. I don't know why. There's nothing I can do. That's a YouTube thing. So I don't know. Send YouTube a message or something. But double check. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell, the notification bell, and then hit all. ALL. Hit all. And that's really about all you can do. Hey Adam, hey KM, how you doing, Jerry Bell? I know. No, a few more people get on here. I'll explain why we're so late today. Ford guy, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being a member, by the way. I see you are. Elizabeth Chamberlain, hi Skip. Greetings from Chicago. I'll tell you what, coming out here in the evening like this for Porch Settin, man, this is much nicer. I got to tell you, it really is. Sun's down. It's about 75 degrees out ish. Mild breeze and a cold Yingling lager. Life is good. Quit. Get out of here. Damn lizards. In the evening like this, the geckos come out looking for whatever they're looking for. Ants, I guess. I don't know. Stuff. Let's see. Today, while we were running around, I saw a ball-headed eagle. Oh, he was a big one. Or she. She. It was a big one. And me and Sue both, we've seen ball-headed eagles around here, but this one here was pretty good size, and we both caught it. And then we've seen, I saw an invasive, what I'm going to call it a lizard. I don't know that it was a lizard. It could have been something else, but it was a big one. We took a picture of it. We Googled it, and it come from Cuba. So I've seen another invasive species today. And what else have we seen? Love bugs. I saw a lot of love bugs today. It seems that the love bugs here are worse in some areas here than in others. Right here at my home, I don't see any right now. None. Crawling around on the nothing. But where I was at, there was quite a few love bugs. I'm not saying a ton of them, but there was quite a few love bugs. So it must be worse in some areas than others. Gringo, Loco, hey man, meet me out. How you doing? Joy says, boy howdy, great to see you. I just told my hubs that you must be traveling since we didn't have a port set this afternoon. Well, we was traveling, but we wasn't traveling. We were traveling here in the villages around for something that I needed to do, and it just took longer. It's also yesterday. Same place, 2 days in a row, and I have to go back for the third day. You know, when you do videos of certain things for your YouTube channel, if you're going to do one, sometimes things go pretty easy, especially if you have it in your mind what you want to do. You go down, you video it, you come back, you edit it the way you want it to look, and then you put it out there. Other times you go to do a video, things just go wrong. Welcome to Appreciation Level. Hey, Elizabeth, thanks for joining the members. I appreciate it. Other times you put things out there, or go do a video, things just go wrong. And I'm not talking about the things you might think about, like, oh, the camera battery was dead. I forgot to bring extra batteries. And this happens too. Or we cut the video, I went to edit it to find out the microphone was shut off and we have no audio whatsoever. That happens too. But this was different. I'll get into it here in a little bit as soon as more people get on here, because I don't want to explain the same thing 4 times. So we'll wait just a little bit and I'll tell you. But thanks for joining, Elizabeth, to my YouTube members thing there. Now that you're a member, there's videos down there in the members only area that has never been on YouTube for the public. And there's also, you'll have access now to those little special pick me buttons and stuff like that that we use on the W&L show when we play the game. We've got so many new people living in my neighborhood now. I don't even know who they are. KM says, darn, can't stay. Well, we'll catch you later. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. I knew that coming out here tonight might be kind of iffy, but I just felt like I needed to do it because I didn't do it this afternoon. And when you do something on a regular basis, and then when you don't do it, it's like exercising. I know you guys will never believe this. I used to run every day, 7 miles a day, 7 days a week, as long as it wasn't raining or, it's a snow blizzard or something like that. I did when I was working. We had a pasture field, and I paced it off. If I would run all the way around the outer edges of this pasture field, it was, what was it? I want to say it was like 1 1/10 mile, something like that. So when I was getting ready for work, or before it was time to get ready for work, to go to my job, I would go out there in my old clothes, whatever I had on, shorts or whatever, and I would, uh-oh. Oh, that sounds like it's coming from way down yonder. I would go and I would jog so many times around this pasture field, like 3 times around or something like that. And then I'd go to work. Well, I'd come in, take a shower. Sue would have me something to eat, a little bite to eat. Then I'd go to work. And then I came home. And sometimes I came home at different hours, because when I first started working for UPS, I was what you might call an extra board driver. Now, what is that? In a short explanation is, anytime somebody called in sick, a road driver, because I was a road driver, not a city guy, so I was a road guy. Anytime somebody called in sick, anytime somebody couldn't make it to work for whatever reason, their car would, I was one of the guys that they would call to cover his run. And that's what I was. So I run everybody's run. Once you get enough seniority built in after so many years of working there, you can do what they call, you can bid on a run. And I finally got enough seniority, I could start bidding on a run. Now that would be my run. I run it, whatever it was set up to run, Monday through Friday, Tuesday through Saturday, whatever that run was, that's what I did. That was my run. Whatever the hours was, wherever that run went, that's what I did. And then when you get more seniority, then you can start bidding what you might call the better runs for you. There's no really such thing as a bad run, but it'd be a better run. And some of the top runs that really guys liked, and I liked them, would, let's say, be a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania run. You would get your stuff and you would take off and you would go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That's the end of your run. And then they put you in a hotel. The next day you would get up at a certain time and go back to the terminal, get your trailers, and then went straight back to Indianapolis. And then you went home. And you may do that 2 times a week. That's how those runs work. And I like those runs because one is you get away for a while. You don't have, your terminal manager stuff breathing down your neck, and you're just kind of like the freedom of the road, so to speak. And those runs paid really well. Those runs today, I don't know if they have them or not. Because they have a tendency to do away with runs like that because they don't want to pay hotel rooms for guys like me when they could hire an outside trucker to come in and take them trailers, and then he hauls them, and the company don't have to provide that driver with insurance, vacation pay, hotels, nothing. It's his responsibility. So they started giving some of that stuff away, and I don't know if the union got involved in it or not, because by then I retired. So it is what it is. I may have been down by your house, Jerry, today. I don't know that. I don't know exactly where you live, but none of my business. But I was down in the Finney area practically all day yesterday and all day today. So when I came home, I went into the computer room to maybe start editing a video for my RV channel, and I fell asleep. So I took a nap. I just got up, so I'm really not fully awake yet. Joy, you should be here by now, right? Didn't you tell me last week that your husband was here, and within a day or two or something, you were leaving there to be here? So you're here, right? Or am I wrong? Hey, Patty, how you doing? Skip Richard says, finally made it live. Yay! Patty says, glad to see your Porch Settin. Yeah, I know, I'm running late. I told Sarah, I said, they're going to yell at me. I know they are. That's okay. I can take it. Kathy B in the 603. Elizabeth says, so glad I didn't miss Porch Pitting today. I look forward to it each Wednesday. Well, good. As long as when I dream up something to do on a regular basis that I think might be some interest to some people, and also something where people can get information. And that's what I'm really big on is information. And something like this is something where, like WNL. Let me compare that to WNL. WNL over a period of time will transition. It just will. It's not that I design it to change, but as the show goes on, it will change because of what you guys are doing. What are you watching? When are you watching? We have a guest on there, and then I look and see how many views we had on that video on that guest. And nothing against the guest, but if we don't get a lot of views, then I assume that guest was not very interesting, or whatever information that guest had, you guys weren't interested in it. And so I'll probably not have another guest like that on again. And that's what we do. So the game. We did a game once a long time ago when we first started doing WNL. I don't know when it was. It was just a game. I make them up. I make them up. Sometimes they're a home run, sometimes they're not, but I just make them up. Now, lately, except for the last couple of shows, but we had a lady here uh, that I think she might be I don't know if she's a member or not, but anyway, she watches the videos. She volunteered to help out with the games. I said, good, that'll be something I don't have to, because sometimes I can spend a lot of time trying to make up a game. And I told her the criteria for a good game. I said, one, make it easy. Two, make it fun somehow. And then three, make it so we can score it easy, because we have to score these things. And sometimes, believe it or not, that can be the hardest thing, figuring out a way of scoring something. So anyway, I haven't talked to her for a long while. So she's busy. She still works full time. So the last game I made it up. I think the game before that I made it up. Don't ask me what they were. I don't remember. And I've already got a game in my mind for this month. I haven't figured it out yet, but I had it the other day, a thought about a game, and I jotted a little note down on a piece of paper. So I'm working on it. But I did do a systems check with one guest. I think this month, this will be the first time I've ever done this. I'm going to have two guests on one show at two different times. And each guest is of a different subject. Hopefully, one of those guests, at least one of them, will correspond with you. So it will bring on a lot of questions, bring on a lot of I don't know how to put it, a lot of viewers to watch. So I've got two guests coming on. One will be up for one thing, and the other one will be for something else. And I've already talked to Linda about the guests, and she's already excited about one. Believe it or not, my wife's excited about one. I told Judy about one of the guests yesterday, I think, and the same one. Out of the two guests, she picked the same one that Sue and Linda did. And she says, "Oh," she said, "that one should be good because of something she was thinking about, and that's why I picked this guy." We'll see. We'll just see how it works out, because sometimes things that I think are going to be good, and then I do the video and I put it out there, and then I get a lot of criticism about it because they don't like it or whatever, and so I expect anything anymore. Either you like it or you won't like it. William says I should get a bag of gecko feed from Tractor Supply. Well, I don't know. I think that by the looks of some of these guys around here, they're eating pretty healthy now. I think they eat mostly ants and small bugs. I mean, I don't really know what they eat, but that's my guess. Deirdre says bald eagles around DeLuna these past few days. Yeah, I've seen bald eagles in a lot of different areas around, but today, for some reason, that one was extra big. I don't know if it just looked extra big to us because of where it was compared to where we were, or it was extra big. But let me just say, it was impressive. Both of us. Sue even, she even caught back on it. She gave me one of those. Oh my goodness! Yeah, one of those. So it was. I wish I just had a camera, but I didn't. Come on, what are you doing? What does that say? Mabene, Mbene, says flipped on YouTube and surprised to see you on this late. Well, I don't generally do it this late, so I won't be out here for no 2 hours either because it'll be getting dark. But I had things to do. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I think I got 93 people on here right now. That's enough. I had to do some video that I wanted to do. I've known about this for. It's nothing super important, or it's not like the president's going to be driving through. It's nothing like that. There was a home, a new home down south. I know the person that they're a Patreon member of mine, and they got questions and phone numbers from us about who enclosed our lanai with those sliding doors, and they're going to have their lanai enclosed like that with the sliding doors. There's a lot of ways of getting your lanai enclosed. That happens to be one of them, and that's the ones that me and Sue like. And they said they wanted to get the same thing, so they were getting it. So they took them because of the material problems getting here, COVID, all that kind of thing, and labor problems, getting people to do a job and all that stuff. It took 4 months from the time that this lanai, the contracts was signed to do the lanai enclosure, to today. They finally got it done. It took them 4 months to get this job done from the beginning to the end. Now that's how far behind they are. And as the villages gets bigger and bigger, it probably isn't going to get any better unless the supply chain gets better, because that's the problem. I talked to the workers. They all told me the same thing. It's not them so much as far as installing it. It's the supply chain. They're having a hard time because they don't make everything. like the sliding glass doors. They don't make those. They have another company that makes those sliding glass doors. Well, that company's having trouble getting the tempered glass. It's having trouble getting stuff. And so that's the slowdown is that. So I don't fault the company very much for that. That's just business today, I guess. But that I want to get videos of that. So I went down there yesterday to video. I wanted to video it from start to finish, but I was going to do it in segments. I wasn't going to do the complete whole job because I've videoed these things, I think, twice now. Mine, my next door neighbors, and this will be the third time. But the reason why I said I would do this is because I haven't done one lanai enclosure for a long time, and I know people don't look for old videos very much. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do another video to put it out there in case other people want to enclose their lanai, either this way or some other way, but at least they'll have a company that can help them with it. Well, went down there yesterday to do it, and of course it rained, and they called and said they'd be late because of the rain. Well, they didn't get down there till they said they were supposed to be there like at 9:30. They didn't show up until 1:30, really through no fault of their own. They had to finish up a job early that morning because, once again, part availability, but they came in, so they went back to that first job to finish it off, then packed up. Rain came. They couldn't come down during the rain. And then when they did come down, it was 1:30 in the afternoon after rains finally quit. Well, they got the job started, but then it started getting dark and they had to leave. You can't work here after a certain hour. You have to stop because of noise. And they came back this morning. Well, after being down there all day and everything, I overslept today. I didn't get out of bed today and I'm not an early riser. So for me to tell you this is early for me, but not early for everybody. Yesterday, I got up at 7:30 so I could be down there at 9 o'clock and start videoing. Well, it didn't show up to 1:30. So I went down there just doing nothing, hanging around. Today, they were going to be down there. I was told at 7:30. That's when I said, what, 7:30? I'm not getting up at 5:30 in the morning to come down. I'm not doing it. I said, I'll just be late. And then I was told, no. I told them I wouldn't be here at 7:30. It'll be 9 o'clock. I said, 9 o'clock. Okay, I'll try to make it down there by 9 o'clock. I didn't get out of bed till 9 o'clock. So there you go. And so I sent him a text message to let him know, hey, I just got out of bed. I'm going to have my coffee first. So I'm not going to be down there for at least another hour. And we got down there. Well, when we got down there, it was okay. They were still putting stuff together. I got enough to show you exactly how things kind of gets put together and all that kind of thing. And they finally finished it up. And then I took video of the finishing product from the inside out and from the outside in. And I pointed out a couple of things that I liked because they changed the design sometimes a little bit. And in this one, there was one particular thing that they changed compared to when they did mine. And I liked it. And so I pointed out and I'll show you that. So that's why I was gone all day today, because of that. And then there's another video I want to do. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance to get down there and do it because I'm still waiting for that email. Somebody sent me an email here about 2 weeks ago saying they was going to be down here in the villages this week. And they said, when we get down there, we'd like to have you guys, if you want to, we'll go out and have some lunch. I said, that's fine. We'll do that. And we're going to be staying at this such and such house. So I think they're renting a house, but they wanted to take us and show us the new house of theirs that's being built. So I was going to take my video there, and I was going to walk through this house that's being built and take videos of the inside of what it looks like when they're building a house, which I've done this only once before, showing you the different wood studs, how they're put in, how they're treated, the different metal studs, where they go, how they go, of these kinds of things. So I'll show you the construction of the house. And they haven't never contacted me. And this happens a lot, so I'm just letting you guys know right now that may or may not happen. People always come down saying they're going to get a hold of us. Then they get really busy. They realize there's so many things to see, so much stuff to do, papers to sign, houses to look at, furniture stores to go check prices out. They haven't got time to get a hold of us, or they just simply forget. But I'm still waiting for that email. I may get it. I don't know. If I get it, then we'll go do it. But we'll see. That's all I can. I'm not going to hold my breath. Jerry Bell, pick me. Yeah, there you go, Jerry. That's how it works. Let me see if I can get this to focus in here a little bit. See the pick me button right there? It's not showing up very well, is it? Yeah. When you're a member, YouTube member, you have access to those pick me buttons. Why are they important? Well, let me tell you why they're important. When we do the game, and I had the girls pick somebody to play for a prize, I always tell them, pick a player. I don't care who they pick. I really don't. But the pick me button shows that that's a YouTube member of my channel. Now, does that give you, say, unfair advantage? I don't know. I just know it just shows that you're a YouTube member of the channel. I don't know that they pick people only from that. I don't think so, because Sue has picked some people I've never heard of. So I don't think they do. But it's just nice for me to know as the creator of this thing when we have a game, and I look over there at that chat and we're looking for people to play, and I see all them pick me buttons. I just feel good knowing those people are members of my channel. That's all. Marsha says message retracted. Marsha, are you using vulgar language? Because nobody cares. Wait till I get that blooper reel done. I'm still thinking about it. Oh, I'm going to have a blooper reel for my YouTube members and for my Patreon members. Oh, and there'll be a warning at the beginning of it saying if you don't like foul language, if you don't want to hear foul language, do not watch this video, because you're going to get one. I got so much stuff in there that I can put on there. It's just a matter of what do I put on there. I don't know what to put on there, but I got one coming. JC, hi Skip, live from Maryville, Tennessee. Hi to you. I used to go down and visit some people. They weren't relatives of mine, but I had seen them so much in my lifetime. I almost felt like they were part of my family. They lived in Maynardville, Tennessee. And I've been to Maynardville a few times, not a lot. I almost forget. I'm thinking Maynardville's like, I could be wrong here, but I was thinking it was like kind of like out in the boonies from Nashville, maybe, or Knoxville. It's one of them towns. Well, you're from Tennessee. Maybe you know Maynardville. I don't know if you do or don't, but man, I can only tell you the people I know in Maynardville, and they had these yard parties whenever we came down to visit. Half the people there, I think, just lived in Maynardville. I didn't know who they was. What a super nice group of people, especially the older guys that went back a few years. They would tell me stories of things that they did and had to do, and growing up as children in Maynardville. It was hilarious on some of the stories. So I really enjoyed those people a lot. I did, and I'm not making fun, but those people. Well, the last time they're all gone now, but until the day that they died, those people will tell you, and they're not kidding. They will tell you, we did not land on the moon. They don't believe that at all. They don't believe you can get there. They also will tell you, you don't ever eat anything out of a can. You don't eat canned peaches. You don't eat beans. You don't eat stuff out of a can because they think everything will poison you. You just don't do that. And me coming from where I come from, I don't believe in any of that, but that's what they believe in, and you have to respect that. These are I guess you call them hill people. I guess you call them that. I don't know. But all I can tell you is they were more than inviting for me and Sue. Come on in, have a bite to eat, sit down at the chair, have some iced tea. And they didn't know me from squat, and that's how they treated us. Grandpa Eric, hey dude, has anybody seen Mr. Jesus on here? I haven't seen Mr. Jesus on any of my channels. He usually always makes a comment. He always comes to WNL. He comes to these live things, maybe for a short period of time, but he always comes and says hi. I knew he had an operation, a heart operation, and he was recovering, and that's what's got me concerned. And I know he had a new grandbaby. I mean, I knew a lot about Mr. Jesus. I never met him, but looks like I've got gas. But I knew a lot about him, and I haven't seen him on any of these things for quite a while. And I'm just wondering if he's okay, if anybody knows, because unless somebody tells me, I don't know. Cindy G, how you doing? Joy says, almost there, getting close. Okay. I must have misunderstood then. I thought last week you said you were going to come down. He was here, and you were coming down in a couple of days, or coming over, I guess I should say, in a couple of days. Joan says hi from Ohio. Me Meow says, Tom says hi. Tell Tom I said hi. Kevin K says hello. Hello, Kevin. Kevin K's in Fort Wayne. My son lives up there. My grandson, they're divorced, but my grandson lives close to there. He lives in Ocean, and I know Kevin knows where that is. My mother was born in one of them small little town that's a suburb of Fort Wayne. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. I'd tell you. She was raised as a little girl in Swayze, and her father had a farm in Van Buren, and her sisters ended up getting married and living in Marion. And one brother lived in Fairmount. I'm giving you a little history test up there, Kevin. And then my mother was born in a small town that's kind of like a suburb of Fort Wayne. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Seems to me the last time I went through this little town, because I went to see where my mom was raised, it's not nothing like the town was back then, I'm sure, but there was a large, I want to say, a large Amish furniture store there, whatever that little town was. It's not Bluffton, even though I will say there's a hospital in Bluffton my dad used to go to, and there used to be a like a cafeteria in Bluffton. It's gone now. And every time we went to Bluffton, I would go with Dad because that was my excuse to go to that cafeteria. I loved that little cafeteria, but it's gone now. I know a little bit about that area, just not a lot. Okay, Jerry says the female bald eagles have an 8-foot wingspan and males are much larger. Well, we must have saw a male. This thing looked huge to me. This thing looked like it could snatch your baby out of the crib and take it away. Being a union man, Skip, what is your take on a potential train shutdown? Well, that'll be up to the members. They'll vote on that, whether to strike or not, and that's usually it's a way of forcing the company to come to the negotiating table because most companies, when a contract comes due, a company will do one or two things. Either it wants to negotiate a contract way early before the contract runs out, and that's really what a company should do. But most likely they don't. They wait till toward the end of the contract. It's a psychological game. They try to make all the workers nervous about losing their job for a while, and they'll settle for something quicker. And I've even known companies that they were pretty flush when it comes to money, and so they would actually lay all their people off during a strike or let them go and refuse to pay them anything. The company doesn't owe you nothing. No unemployment because you went on strike, so you're not eligible for unemployment. And you might get strike benefits from the union if that union has strike benefits, and if they do, it's generally not very much. So it'll be up to the members. I mean, what I think about it really doesn't make no difference to me because I don't work there. But if you're asking my personal opinion about the effects of everything, especially now, I think it's bad timing. Because remember, there's a public opinion about everything. And in this public opinion, if they go on strike and all these people, they can't get around, they can't get to work because some people depends on a lot of railroad, the manufacturers or whatever they do, a lot of stuff. The public opinion, and once public opinion gets to the point they don't like you, they won't like you forever. And that could, in the long run, that could be a backlash on that. Well, I'm going to give this one a shot, guys. You know how I am when it comes to pronouncing weird names and stuff. I'm not good at it. Shantae Maisie Richburg, and it says "la." I'm assuming "la" means hi, so I'll say hi. Patty says she's having a large bird cage put in about 3 weeks. You can film that. Hey, I'd like to. Seriously, I've never filmed the construction of a bird cage. I've seen them built, but I've never really videoed one. I'll tell you the thing, Patty, it gets me. I only had one guy give me an estimate on bird cage in my back porch, adding to the bird cage I got for the lanai and then moving it over to the area that we added onto. I was amazed about the price, how much it cost for screen and some aluminum, basically. And he said, well, he said it's labor. It's a labor cost. Boy, it must be a lot of labor because mine ain't that big back there, and this was a lot. I mean, it was almost as much as what it cost me to put in the glass doors to enclose my lanai. They wanted almost that much just to put in a screen bird cage over the rest of the porch. But yeah, when I get ready to do that, Petty, send me an email. Give me a call. If you don't have my phone number, send me an email and I will send it to you. Jerry says, you're right. I haven't seen Mr. Cheese's. I haven't either. I'm just concerned. That's all. I always look at you guys as my friends. And when I don't see people on here regularly, I mean, if you miss a show once in a while, that's okay. I don't care. I mean, we all have a life to live. You got vacations to take. You got families going to come and visit. I understand all that. But Mr. Cheese's, I mean, he doesn't miss this many. He hasn't been on any of my live shows or any videos. He hasn't made a comment on any videos or anything for, I'm just going to stick it out there and say, the last 2 or 3 months. That's not normal for him. And so I'm just concerned about his health, knowing he had a heart operation. His operation, I mean, he mentioned it on here, so I'm not saying something he doesn't want people to know. He had, I think, a valve replaced in his heart. Now, me being an idiot, that sounds more serious to me than your normal heart bypass surgery. I know both of them are serious, but the heart valve replacement to me sounds more serious than bypass surgery. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. It just sounds that way with me. So I just wonder where he's at, how he's doing. That's all. Mammon says, come on in. Have a bite to eat here, Skip. Let me open this can. See, that don't bother me. It was them hill people. They I don't want to say too much. I don't want to sound like I'm insulting, and I'm not. I'm not. These people were super. They were some of the nicest people I ever met. But they just have their beliefs and things because they're really kind of disconnected from kind of like the rest of America, kind of like really. Several people told me that they've never had a TV. They don't watch TV. They don't believe in that. Their religion says that it's a devil box, and there's nothing in the TV. That's all the devil's stuff. Now, come on, don't throw stuff at me. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what they say. So that's the people we're talking about. So when it comes to eating things out of a can, and now you'll get sick. There's poison in there. You don't know what's in that can. Them ingredients on the back of that can, they'll tell you. It says, what is all that? Ain't nobody know what the hell all that is. I ain't eating none of that. I go out and pick my apple out of my apple tree. You know what ingredients in there? Apple. I'm telling you. And so you got to respect them. That's their belief, and I respect it. Bill B says he's watching and drinking his bottle of Oktoberfest. I haven't busted any of that stuff you brought me, Bill. Tonight I'm drinking a Yingling lager, and it's starting to get a little dark out here, so you guys are probably not getting a really clear picture, are you? Let me turn this around. You can see what I'm looking at right there. See, it's getting kind of dark out, so I may just end this here in about another 5 or 10 minutes, and and go back in the house because I know old people like Jerry Bell and Wrestler Mania and all them guys. It's getting late for them old guys. They got to go take their nap. You know what? You can see my reflection back here, can't you? You can actually see this back here. Wrestler Mania is on. Hey, Wrestler. On the WNL show coming up, Wrestler, I think you've seen what my email said about the co-hosting and all that. Let's try that. Maybe we ought to pick a day where you're not doing anything, like on a Saturday or something. And I don't know. I mean, if you're not on the show with me, will the director? I'll call them director buttons. Will the director buttons work, or do you have to be on the show for the director buttons to work? I've never done it this way before, but if it does work, that'll make my job a little easier because this old brain of mine up here, I forget a lot. You can make sure the ticker tapes are running and make sure that I don't know, any pictures that I need to bring on or whatever, you can bring them in and stuff like that. Nah, Barbara, we're not traveling. Well, I was, but I wasn't. I was traveling to the far end of the Finney area. Everybody hates it when I call it that, but I've always called it that. When I say Finney area, at least you know what I'm talking about. And it was down by the Finney area. I wasn't, but by car, I wasn't 2 or 3 minutes from the Finney Bar and Grill. So I was down there and getting this video for you guys. It took 2 days to get it. I'm not going to put it up probably for at least 2. And I'll tell you why. The project, believe it or not, isn't done. There's another part of this project that doesn't start till next week in the same house in the Lanai. And I've never seen this done before, this particular thing that they're going to do. And I'm thinking about just making this a long video. And I really back off a little bit from that because I know most people don't like long videos. Technically, for my channel, it's better for me to put out the Lanai closing once. That'll be a 10-minute video, give or take. And then the rest of the project, make it a second video and make it about a 10-minute video. I mean, for the channel, you're better to do that. But I'm just looking at you guys that watch me regularly about maybe doing both of them, edit it and put it all together, make one, say 20, 25-minute video showing the complete project. And even with this, I know it's not going to be the complete project because I know a couple other things that's going to happen later on, but those I'm not worried about. These two are major, and let me work on it. I'm not sure what to do half the time on anything I do. I just kind of just bumble my way through it. There's still people who think we didn't make it to the moon. Yep, yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. They are called Flat Earth Society. I've heard that expression, but I didn't know it was those people that didn't believe in going to the moon. But yeah, you're right. I mean, those people that I knew in Tennessee that didn't believe we landed on the moon, it ain't just them. I've heard people from other states down here over a beer, sitting at a bar, say that. You don't really believe we landed on the moon, do you? You really believe that? They went out in the desert somewhere. I heard that they filmed all that out at Red Rock Canyon there in Nevada. They went out there because that looks just like the moon surface, and they just said that to get another $100 million of financial money from the government. They didn't really go to the moon. What do you call that? Conspiracy theory? How's my sunset? There is none. It's dark. Okay. I'm going to end this in about 5 minutes. See? Look, our yard lights are on. There's nothing out here. But I want you to notice something. Listen. I am about 7 or 8 minutes by golf cart to go downtown Brownwood, where the square's at. And this is why I said, for me, we checked this area out. This was good for me because one of my criteria was I wanted to be within a 10-minute golf cart ride of a square, didn't care which one, but I wanted to be just far enough away from it that I didn't hear the music. Don't hear a thing. Cool breeze in Delaware. It's nice down here right now. This is really nice weather in the evening like this. Give it about another 2 or 3 weeks. We will be in the fall weather, and when it starts to cool down for the winter, it cools down quick. It'll go from the 90s every day, and then all of a sudden, it'll be 78, and it'll just stay 78 all the time. Well, I don't know, Bill B. How come you don't have one? I'm getting your hint. You, I've never done anything, man. Oh, Bill B. Wait a minute. I'm thinking of Phil B. That means you're a moderator, Bill. That means whenever you come on the channel, you have the power to help me out to keep all the nasty comments off. Uh, Sometimes, once in a while, you'll see, I don't even know who it is, but I'll say kids. It may not be kids, but they'll come on here and they might make comments that are just downright nasty. You'll have the power to kick them off. And I've told Wrestler and all of them, you know, if it's something like that, then we're not playing games with it anymore. It's a zero policy. You block them. You put them in YouTube jail, and you'll have that power. They're just gone forever. The only one that can take them out of YouTube jail is me. I'm the only one who have access to that area. And over the years, I have taken maybe 2 people out of YouTube jail after emailing me and stuff and talking to them, and I done that. One of which I took out of YouTube jail here a while back is back in YouTube jail again. They just don't seem to learn. So the second time is a lifetime membership. I'm never taking them out again. But hey, Bill, if you want to be a moderator to help out, I always say I could use all the moderators I can get because here's the thing about moderators. You never know when they're going to come to the show. I mean, especially during the summer months when vacation's going. WrestleMania, let's say, could be on a vacation. Phil B., his father lives in Texas, and he's elderly, and Phil goes over there once in a while to, you know, to be with his dad. And so he's not able to be a moderator. Some people still work, and they can't come to the show and be a moderator. So that's what I always say. The more I got, the better off we are, because then I can always generally depend on at least 1 or 2 being there. And so, yeah, you want to be a moderator? If you want to, let me know now, because look at that. That's better, ain't it, when I put light in here? Let me know, because while I'm live, making you a moderator is quick and easy. House prices dropping down there yet? Sue said, I don't pay attention to that, really, Barbara, because my channel is starting to take a different direction of the villages. Other people are doing so much stuff of the same thing. I don't want to get involved with it anymore. But Sue's telling me that the prices are coming down a little bit. Now, how much is that? I don't know. But she says that they are starting to come down a little bit. If you was wanting to find out about house prices, here's what I would recommend about, especially pre-owned homes. I don't know if you're wanting pre-owned or new. But see, when it comes to new homes, the developer's in total control of that. Nobody else can sell you a new home but him and his company. But on pre-owned homes, any outside realtor can sell you a home. They can tell you things. Robin, I can't never pronounce her last name. Carnival, you guys know. Anyway, go to her channel, send her an email, ask her about it. She can tell you. Or my second one, an outside realtor I recommend, is Ira Miller. He can tell you how it's going. Not only about here, he can tell you about anywhere in Florida, any retirement community, anywhere really. He can tell you what house prices are doing. But from what I'm seeing, I don't know that they are, but I do know that the homes here are still selling quick. as soon as they hit the market in my neighborhood. In the last month, I think there was like 4 houses that came up for sale. One of them sold the same day that it came up for sale. The other three, I'm not exactly sure when they sold, but I can tell you as of right now, we have no homes for sale. So they're selling pretty quick still. Barbara, Jerry says, Ira says that home prices are flat right now. So he knows more about it than I do because he makes his living doing it. But I would say yes, they're starting maybe to make a little bit of a curve. It's going to be like gas prices. They go up 100 grand overnight, and then they start to go down $1 at a time. Barbara says, Jerry, I tried to watch Ira last night, but had difficulty. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he had bad Wi-Fi. I get bad Wi-Fi connections too. I'm looking into some other things, but um, if he was having bad Wi-Fi connections, cut him a little slack. That's one of them things that's out of our control. People always has a lot of suggestions about it, but it just doesn't work here. And I don't know, man. And I'll tell you something creepy. Here's not creepy, weird. You know how you can get a regular TV antenna? Well, I guess a regular TV antenna, and you can watch free TV. What I call free TV. I got one on my RV. I travel all around the country, and I put this antenna up, and I'll pick up 20 channels here, 30 channels there. And generally, they're older channels, but I can watch free TV. You can't do it at my house. And I have a lot of neighbors that's tried it. They put up that free antenna, and you got to hide it. You can't put it on the roof, but they'll put it like in a window, in a lanai. They put them all around. You can't pick up one channel, not one. So I don't know what it is about this area, and maybe that's why the Wi-Fi is goofy. I don't know, but it's just there's certain things here you just can't do. Yeah, you see that? Wait a minute, I'm turning this around. Jerry says he likes my flickering lights. I know it's not a very good picture on this. There's a bad camera on this iPad. It's not as good, but yeah. You wouldn't believe me, Jerry, but that light's been in there now for 3 years. They never burn out. When I bought that, I bought two of them because I figured, well, it'll burn out and I'll have an extra one. So I got an extra one in the garage. It's never been out of the package. I got it at Amazon. I don't know what they're called. Flickering light, I guess. So I don't believe that I live in a barnyard. Some of these guys, they get the brightest light they can get to put in their yard light, and it lights up the whole half the neighborhood. And those things are too bright, in my opinion. People drive down the road, and them things are glaring at you. There's no sense in it. It's LED stuff. It's just too bright. Well, everybody here, every house in my neighborhood, when they were brand new, had a 25-watt bulb in that light, and the whole neighborhood had the same look. It was uniformed, and I liked it. It looked really good. Now you got people like me with a flickering light. You got that guy over there that's got 300-watt lights in it. It's just, I don't know. I mean, people do what they want to do, but I don't have to like it. And that's the reason I got this flickering light, to be honest with you. Everybody's putting in these bright ass lights. I put that out there to irritate them. Cindy G, pick me. Yeah, I see that. Where's Sue? Um, I was in there in the studio when I decided to come out here, and I didn't see her in there. I thought for a minute that maybe she was over at one of the neighbors' houses, but apparently she's not. She might have been in the shower. If she was in the shower, I didn't go in there. She might have been in there. Cause she goes to bed around 9 o'clock or 9:30. I can't go to bed that early, so she might have been getting ready for bed. I don't know that. She wasn't on lanai. I thought she might have been out there painting, but she wasn't out there doing that either. Irving Clark message retracted. Boy, there's a lot of you people message retracting. Why are you doing that? What are you saying that you don't want me to see? What's going on here? Rebecca says she's been in the villages now for about 8 weeks. Cool. Um, I guess now this is when the work begins, right? Buying everything, changing everything, upgrading everything. Or if you bought a brand new house, I have always said, it'll be the most expensive brand new fixer upper you'll ever buy. Cindy says she wants to see. I'm working on it, Cindy. I got a lot of them in there. Matter of fact, I might have enough in there for a half a dozen blooper reels later down the road. I've got blooper reels where I was talking to Linda on the system about stuff, and I'm hesitant about cutting things out of there and putting it on there because you guys might take it the wrong way. She don't take it. She knows how I am. I'm yelling at her. I'm using foul language, and she's just laughing at me. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. I'm seeing some new names on here. Thank you guys for coming to the live stuff. I'm always trying to get the live stuff going because truth of it is, I'd like to do more live stuff and less videos. Live's easy peasy. Start, done, no editing, you're out. Videos is cameras, extra batteries, getting going, get it focused, make sure lighting's right, drive somewhere, come back, edit. I mean, it just gets into stuff. What part of Indiana am I from? Well, I'm from all over Indiana. I've owned 17 homes in Indiana. Some were investment properties, some were not. But I bought my first house in way south Anderson on Main Street. My children, we bought there because it was like 2 miles from my parents, and the kids could go to Pendleton School, which is where I graduated from. And I knew Pendleton School was a very good school. It's safe there. So we wanted our kids to go there, and we knew we weren't going to move till they graduated. And we liked it there also because one boy was like 8 years older than the other boy. So when our first boy is going to second, third grade, our youngest boy is in diapers. So mom and dad, I mean, we trusted taking our kids there. Mom and dad babysitted for us back when we had babysitters. And so I guess we were really lucky in that way. We didn't worry about our kids being mistreated or anything at a nursing or at a what do you call them, where they take care of kids. They don't call them babysitters anymore. What do they call them? Whatever they're called. We didn't have that worry. We didn't have, and I've heard people talk about it cost for 2 children like $250 a week plus food, or you have to bring the food. And it's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'd have done. I couldn't afford that. But anyway, so we stayed there, and then we bought a house. We bought that house, and then I started driving a truck, and then my dad retired, and he moved to another house. Well, the house that he had 2 miles away had a huge garage that I could park semis in. I bought his house so I could put my trucks down there. I kept my first house and rented it out for income. I didn't want to get rid of the house. And then I had a house in Polish Acres in Anderson, down by Nicholson File, and it was a rental home, and I had it for a while, and we sold it. Oh my gosh! And I just in life, there's reasons why I did everything, but then we ended up buying a little farm south of Pendleton. I had it for a while. Then we moved into Pendleton after I sold the farm. Then we moved that place. And went to Marion and had a place, and we sold that, moved to Hartford City, bought a place. I stayed there for a while, sold that, moved from there, moved down to Brownsburg, Indiana, had a place there, sold that, had a place up here in Carolines, sold that, and then bought this place. And, I keep thinking I ought to sell this place, but I don't know where I'm going to go. Seems to me there's another house in there somewhere too. I'm not even sure. We had houses everywhere. But I ended up retiring from Brownsburg, Indiana, which is west of Indianapolis by 8 miles. I was born in Anderson, Indiana at St. John's Hospital. And I basically was raised in Pendleton, Indiana, and graduated in 1970 from Pendleton Heights High School. Yeah, Jared, she did move out. She went to an assisted living up here at Sumter Landing, that assisted living place there. She was there for a couple of months after she sold her house here and sold everything in it. Sold the golf cart. I think she sold furniture. It don't take long to sell anything around here if it's in good shape, and hers was. She sold everything. Sold the house. She's the one that sold the house in one day. And now Sue told me she's moved to South Carolina. That's where she was from. She has relatives there, and she's in assisted living up there. And I think that's it. That's where she's going to be from now on. See, that's the weird thing about living in a retirement community. You know, I guess you should know this, but do you really know? You don't really know, I don't think, until it hits you. When you move to a place like the Villages, all your friends here are temporary. And you never know. I mean, because they move so much. You have a next door neighbor for 5 years you really get along with well. And then next thing you know, his house is for sale and they move. And they move everywhere. Everywhere to, say, a newer area, to they may move back to Indiana or wherever they're from, deciding that Florida, the weather, the heat, all that kind of stuff ain't for them. That's the last you see of them, and that's really the last you hear of them. And some die. I've had neighbors here that were here for just a matter of a few months and pass away, and so they're gone. So that's goes into my psyche a little bit as to where I don't go out of my way to get to know a lot of the newer people, because I guess in my mind I know that they're going to leave. It's just a matter of time. One way or another, they're going to be leaving here, because a lot of these newer people here, this is their first home, and I know that the average villager buys three. So my mind, I guess I think, why do I need to go out of my way to get to know them? Because give it 2 or 3 years, they'll be moving out anyway, and I'll never hear from them. So that's probably wrong to think that way, but that's just the way I think. Yeah, Marjorie says do the bloopers. I'll do them. I'm just trying to pick. It'll take me a while. You got to understand how you get these bloopers by editing. Let me just give you a little clue about how to do these bloopers. I have maybe 10 hours of video. Each video is different. A lot of these bloopers will come from the news that I've done in the past. Lots of bloopers from the past. And I'm talking about something, and you know, I'm not the best reader in the world. And when I see where I mispronounced a word, I didn't say something right, or whatever the case may be, I'll go back and do it over again. But when I go back to do that over again, I say things, sometimes bad things. I'm talking to me, and I'm saying, I'm calling me names. And so I go in there and I got to cut that out and put it somewhere and save it. Well, then I got to go through the whole video to find the next one, because I don't remember where they're all at. Remember, there's 10, 20, 30 hours of stuff here. And so then I watch it and I watch it. This could take weeks to get all these little snippets out. And then I got to stitch them together. And you know, it takes a while. If you'll notice what most YouTubers do, here's the easiest way to do a blooper. And I know why they do this. They will make a blooper of the video that they're working on. So in other words, they go through that whole video. Well, here's a stumble bub. They take it out, they save it. And then they go through there and edit the rest of the video. Here's another mistake. They take it out, they save it. At the end of that reel, then they get all them bloopers and put them toward the end of that same video. That's the easiest way to do it. I just never done it. Vic says, new locks today. Water filters tomorrow. The list never ends with a new house. Ain't that the truth? I was warned about that before we bought a new house. I mean, I expect to fix up a pre-owned house once, little things you do here and there. I came here, oh my gosh, it just seems like we were always doing something. Like I said, water filters. I don't even remember. Oh, painting. We wanted to paint a couple of rooms because all of our rooms were the same color, and we wanted to have. Sue wanted to change a couple of colors in there. Get the driveway done. Got the garage. I wanted to get the garage epoxied before we moved anything in. I'd get that done. I mean, I don't even know what all it was, but it just seemed like it was one thing after another and after another, and it just kept going. I was next door having a beer with some neighbors of mine back then, and I asked all of them, I said, are you guys doing as much updating as we, or is it just me? I don't know. And the guy sitting there said, he said, I bet I spent another $30,000 upgrading my house that I just bought brand new. So it ain't just me. We checked it out before the villages. We are still going between that other place and the villages so far. Oh, I think he's talking about Solavita. Him and his wife like Solavita real well. I like Solavita. Like I said, I had nothing against it, other than at that time they had one 18-hole golf course, and as a resident, it was going to cost me like $1,800 a year just for me to play there, and that just didn't do it for me. To Aretha says, when a builder builds a home, they put the cheapest kitchen, bath, flooring in their homes. That could be true. I don't know how it all works. I don't know if the developer gives them so much money to build a particular house and they leave it up to that contractor to come up with his own little ideas. I don't know that. I just know that what we had here that we didn't like, truthfully, and I'm not picking on anybody, but some of the materials in our house here that we took out was in better condition, more sturdy condition, how do I put it? Better quality than some of the stuff I've seen down in the newer area. And that's a fact. Just take it to the bank. Now, there are some other things, though, that could be better. I don't know that. Windows, for example. Already in 8 years, we have two windows that are fogging up now. And they got a 10-year warranty. We've called the warranty department several times. And all they do is give us a phone number of the company that made these windows to fix them. They should be fixed under warranty. But the company's telling us they don't know when they'll be able to get down here because they don't have the product. So, I mean, what do you do? Should the villages put pressure on this company? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know the chain of command here. Because when you call down the warranty department, it's generally just some old lady that's doing that down there. It's a part-time job. She's got a computer that tells her how to answer all the questions. I mean, that's how it works. So all I know is we got two windows that need to be replaced because the gas has escaped, and so now they're fogging up, and we can't get a hold of anybody that will actually do it, and we're still working on it. Wrestler says that Luann's biggest blooper was reels includes the time that me and Sue helped her do a cooking episode at her house. Well, I don't know how I could screw it up. She gave me a wooden spoon and a pot, and she said, stir it. And every time I kept asking her if I was done, she just kept saying, keep stirring. That was my job, to keep stirring. By the way, wrestler, here's a heads up. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm going to. You got the big RV show going on now up there. And I know that next year, not this year, but next year, it's very possible that Linda and her husband want to go up there to that. I told her, if you're still there, you can yell at me later. I told her, I said, oh, we'll get a hold of Wrestler. He'll let you park in the driveway. Uh, Leave it to me. I'll set you up, buddy. Hey, if I come up to it myself, we'll cut another video in the kitchen. We'll cook something else. We'll cook something with meat. Yeah, you're right, Mimi. You're right. And that's the way it was when we first moved in here. And I liked it that way. It just gave a certain look about a big, long road. Everybody's light was the same wattage, and I liked it. But when them lights burn out, they start changing. And I'm here to tell you, there's nobody's going to enforce it at all. There's nobody's going to say anything. So that's how I ended up with this flickering light. I'm the only one here who's got that flickering light. And it's a monstrosity. I'll admit it. It's a monstrosity. You're probably going to look at it and going, well, why did he do that? That looks stupid. I'm doing it protesting all these other lights. That's all. Saying, hey, look, we need to all go back to about a 25 or 30-watt bulb in our whole neighborhood. But when you have 600 and some homes in one neighborhood, what do you think the odds are that everybody's going to go on board with that? Marjorie says, do the bloopers. I will, and I know there's going to be a big percentage of you. Now, keep in mind, I've already said, if you're not a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you're probably not going to see the bloopers. Because I know if I put it there, I'm going to be safe. If I put it on YouTube, and here's why I really don't want to do that, remember, it ain't just my subscribers that can watch that video. It could be people just passing through, and it happens to be the newest video. They'll click on it, and they're going to hear all them cussing and carrying on, and whoever that person is might say, well, I'm not subscribing to this channel. Listen to that foul mouth. See, that's the thing you got to guard yourself against. Yeah, Skip, I agree. It's easier for me. I really like the more one-on-one contact with my people, I'll say. And I do find the more lives that I do, and people kind of get an idea of my personality, who I am, who Sue is, what we're doing here. And it's also a little different format where people can ask anything they want. I mean, if you want to talk about the villages, about what I know about the villages, or who I might recommend for something around here, this is the time to do it. We'll do it. If you want to ask me and Sue about anything, like how many kids, how old were we got married? I mean, we got married way too young. That's why I became a grandfather when I was in my 40s. We had our first baby when we were 18. It's just, I was a horny little rascal, but we survived everything. We did it. Wasn't easy. My mom and dad helped out quite a bit. We lived with them actually when the baby was little because I got my first job. I was gone. And then Sue really needed to go to work right away after she had the baby. I know it sounds terrible today, but she did. And then she spent the rest of the day with my mom, helped taking care of the baby. And then she went to work. She started working at RCA, I think, on, I want to say she started working third shift. She did that on purpose so she could be home during the day. I started working at RCA on third shift, and then I got bumped to day shift, and that was the deciding factor for me. I can't stand day shift anything, and I knew I wasn't going to last, and I didn't. But Sue stayed there for 25 years. So the reason why both of us had to work like that, we were staying with mom and dad demanded they wouldn't take rent from us. We tried to help with groceries. There was many times me and Sue would just go sneak off to the grocery store and buy stuff, and try to help out. We felt guilty about sponging off of them, kind of, and they wouldn't have it. Dad says, you save that money. He says, so you can buy yourself a house. And that's what we did. I just heard a mosquito fly by me. Guys, I'm going to go real quick and go down through here, and I'm not ignoring anybody. If you say hi, I'm going to say hi to everybody. But I'm going to go here real quick and see if there's any questions real fast. If there is, I want to answer them. If not, daycare. You're right, Barbara. That's what it's called, daycare. Man, sometimes I can just be so stupid. My mind just drifts. I just can't remember certain things. And that, anyway, thanks. Daycare, that's right. I could never afford daycare today unless I was making a couple $100,000 a year. I mean, my God, I just don't know how some of these girls make it. And even though you all think I'm some kind of a hard ass by not doing certain things that everybody else seems to think is okay, it might be the union in me. I don't know, but I can tell you, you're never going to see me go to a self checkout line. I've been through this in my lifetime. That's how I seen how full service gas pumps turned into what they are today, and that's what Walmart and the rest of them are trying to do. They're trying to get us to work for them for free. Well, there's other ways they can do it. Me actually pulling up there with a buggy and swiping stuff across there and bagging it myself and carrying it. I'm not doing that. I'm just not going to do it because I know in the back of my mind there's some mother out there with a newborn baby that don't have a husband and maybe is just some useless guy that decided he didn't want to help take care of it and just took off. I mean, it happens, right? She might need that job to help supplement her income to buy diapers and stuff because I know how expensive it is. And we're taking that job away from her by doing it for free. I'm not doing it because that's the kind of hard ass I am. Hello, blue letter guys. I never thought about it, but you're right. Sister-in-law lived in Brownsburg. I was up in Brownsburg last year. Went up there to visit some friends. I had the motorhome, and we went up there. And a friend of mine is an engineer up there. His offices is behind the Applebee's, if you know where that's on 267. He's got an engineering office back there, and he lets me park my motorhome back there while I'm staying at friend's house up there. And yeah, that town has changed a lot since I lived there, especially the downtown area. I almost didn't recognize it. It was incredible to me as how much building has really happened around there. So that town is really, really on the boom right now. I mean, I used to go down to Frank and Mary's back there, and I can't think of the name of that town behind Brownsburg there. Frank and Mary's is really a bar, but they were known for their fresh catfish on Friday. Fresh catfish. All you could eat catfish on Friday, and I went down there. Man, that was good. And that race car driver, his parents and everybody lives back there. Well, I know it's all racing area right through there, but anyway, yeah, Frank and Mary's. I don't know if it's even still there or not, but some of my favorite haunts are still around. I like to go to Flapjacks in Brownsburg. Guarantee you, I go to Brownsburg to visit my friends. At least, however many days I'm there, every morning on them days that I'm there, you'll find me eating breakfast at Flapjacks. That's where I'll be. Vic says, thanks for doing Porch Settin tonight. My wife wants to watch Bachelorette. What, Vic? You don't like watching Bachelorette? What? What's the matter with you? I bet you didn't like to watch Bridges over Madison County either, did you? Barbara says, Skip, you would move? Um, Not yet, but I've always said you can go back on my videos and find them if you want to, but I'll just tell you right now, I said from day one, I have seen places like this pop up before. This ain't my first rodeo in a retirement community being developed, a planned community. Indiana had several, and I've seen what happened to them. And I know different states got different rules, and I don't think the same things that happened there are going to happen here, but some is. And I told Sue a long time ago, this place ain't going to run me broke. And a little bit of time, I mean, you're seeing what's happened in the last few years. Property taxes goes up 25%. When we first moved in here, our average electric bill was about $80 a month in this same house. And yesterday, Sue was telling me our average electric bill every month now is about 159. Now, is 159 going to run me out? No. But it just shows you the price increases going on. And I know COVID's got a lot to do with it, but I don't care about COVID. I don't. What I care about is how much am I paying every week for groceries? Well, I got to tell you, Grocery prices has gone up quite a bit, and I get into arguments with some of these people at the grocery stores because they're selling us crap at top dollar price. I have never had but one or two a good steak from a grocery store here. Their steaks are crap. They're full of gristle. They're nasty, and even hamburger. I had got some hamburger. Oh, about last month I think it was. She got it. I made a hamburger. I like hamburgers. I'm a hamburger freak. I made a hamburger, and there's a big chunk of bone in the hamburger that I bit into, and that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. There's no sense in that. So now we're eating. She found some hamburgers called Kobe. I want to say Kobe. They're already pre-made. I know they cost probably more. I don't know that they do. Didn't ask. Don't really want to know. But I've had 4 of those hamburgers, and I told Sue today. I said, I don't know where you got them hamburgers, but those are okay. They are. They're okay. But the stuff we're buying, I get tired of it. Fruits and vegetables. I get some of the worst fruits and vegetables from these grocery stores here that I've ever got in my life. You buy a peach, a bunch of peaches. They're in a bag, right? And you can't open them up and look at them. They're wrapped up. And they look okay. You come home, you take a knife, you cut them open, and the inside of them are black. The outside looks good. The inside looks black. That's what I'm talking about. That stuff. And I'm sick of it. I'm just tired of it. I'm paying top dollar for rotten fruit. And you say, well, you take it back. Well, who wants to keep going back and forth to grocery stores, to get refunds on your food? I don't. So I've told her, I said, don't buy no more steaks. Here's how I'm going to handle this. Don't buy any more steaks. Makes it easier for her to go to the grocery store. So when I want a steak, I'll just go to Longhorn or I'll go to Texas Roadhouse. I mean, it's not to say the best top quality steak in the world, but I've never gotten the kind of steaks at those 2 restaurants that we're getting at these grocery stores. So that's what we're going to do. Matter of fact, show you how sincere I am about it. I've told you guys, you can't get really good seafood here. You can get edible seafood here. You can get seafood here that tastes pretty good. I'm not saying this tastes bad. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But you can't get good, fresh seafood here. All seafood, all food at any restaurant in the village just comes off the Cisco truck. That's it. So that's what it is. Well, the other day, when I took that trip, I said, I'm going to go to Plant City and see my granddaughter. Well, part of that trip I don't know if I put it on a video. We went down to Punta Gorda. And I went to my seafood restaurant down there called Harpoon Harry's. And I ate my gut full right there at First and Fresh Seafood. And then from there, we came back home. So once in a while, I drive clear down there. Once we like Punta Gorda. But we go down there and I get my fill on seafood down there. Where are we at? I got very much to do because I know it's getting late, and I don't know about the battery on this thing either. It says okay, but if you ain't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe because I've got some changes I think I'm going to do, and you subscribers will be the ones that'll find out about it. And tell your friends to subscribe. Mooch docking. Oh yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah, I forgot. You're right. When you park in somebody's driveway and use their electricity, it's called mooch docking. Well, I told Linda to give Wrestler a call. I says, you can go park in his driveway. Hey, who's going to tell Linda no? Who's going to tell her no? I'm not telling her no. Christian says, I think a lot of people spend a lot of money on their houses, new and old, to upgrade them. They do. Here, pre-owned homes, they might be outdated on colors and stuff like that. So you can always expect to do a little of that. Or they'll have carpet that you don't like, or you want to take, Sue's case, she didn't want carpet at all. If we bought a pre-owned home, even if we got a good price on the home, I know we're going to spend money. She's going to yank out all the carpet and put in all new flooring. And, it's stuff like that. I mean, you can't help it. It doesn't make the house bad. It's just it needs upgrading. And I don't mind the upgrading, but it's still money, isn't it? It's still serious money. And here, Even when you want to upgrade the house, it might take you 3, 4, 5 months to get something done that you want done because of part availability. And that's just the way it is. But don't turn your nose up to a pre-owned home, because it's very possible to get a pre-owned home that the bond is paid off. And that could save you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. You got enough room for both RVs in your driveway? And if you do, how many extension cords you got? Because I want electricity to be able to run my air conditioner too. I need 30 amp, by the way. If you ain't got a 30 amp plug, why don't you see about getting that done for me, would you? Well, Jerry, that would be an interesting idea. It really would, for a live show. If he bought a house there down at Sola Vita, we could get on there with our wives and have a show live with you guys, having comments and everything. He's in Sola Vita. I could be here, and we could have a chat about the difference between his place, what it costs here, and what it costs. Activities there to here. Of course, Sola Vita is very, very close to Orlando. I think it's actually in Point Siena, and I don't know how far it is to Disney World there, but here you're talking about, it depends, say 40, 45-minute drive to get to Disney World. And that's not a deal breaker, because we have a neighbor down here. We've had them for years. They're one of the original buyers of that house, and they're still in it. And there's not very many of us left. But him and his wife are, what do you call, annual pass holders. And they go to Disney World down there every weekend. They love it. And God bless them. That's fine. I mean, if that's what you want to do. But if you're going to go every weekend, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the villages. Don't get me wrong. There's no going weekend. If I knew I was going to go down there every weekend, my mind says maybe I could find something closer. But hey, no, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, Carol, how you doing? We're about ready to end this thing, because I don't know, I just feel stupid sitting out there talking to myself. Mark Berry says 10-4. He's picking on me again, because I say 10-4 a lot on my emails and things. They'll say something, I go 10-4. It's just a habit. Oh, she might have. I see Sue's on her. She says rocket launch tonight at 9:48. So that's probably where she was at a while ago. Oh, it's not 9:48 yet. She likes to go out back and watch the rockets go up. If you guys haven't ever, I mean, if you're there, it's probably better. You get all the ground effects and the rumbling and all that. But even here in the villages, we go out in our back and we can watch we see the light from the motors, the fire, and we can watch it go up, and we can see it separate, and we can see all of that. We just can't actually, not without having a telephoto lens or something like that, we can't see the actual rocket ship itself. But it's still pretty cool when they have a nighttime flight like this, when it's clear, because we get to see we can see it go up. Bill B, you never did answer me, I don't think, or did I miss it? Do you want to be a moderator? If you do, I'll make you one now. Real quick, say yay. Yay or nay? All hands up. Yay. It's too bad I couldn't have done this in the back porch, because then it had the rocket launch. I can show you here on this, the rocket launch. See you, Barbara. Junebug says, we put our garbage in the freezer. Stops all the bugs and raccoons. Well, that's one way of doing it. That's one way of doing it. Here in the villages, I don't know if you're talking where you live or down here, but here you're not allowed to have garbage cans outside. Period. So they're always in the garage anyway. So unless you leave your garage door open, which you're not supposed to, then they can't get in there anyway. Well, wrestler, let me tell you, if it's hot out, you be the judge. If it's hot out and I need to run the air conditioner and I don't have a plug, I'm firing up the generator. You want to listen to that all night? Your call, buddy. I don't have a laptop, Kevin, that I use out here. It's just an iPad. I've always had this iPad. It was for my drone because I can't hardly see on a cell phone when I'm flying a drone. This is bigger and it's better for me. I don't fly the drone hardly at all anymore. I've even thought about selling it. I've mentioned it before about selling it, but I just never do. I'm really bad about selling stuff. Once I got it and I know it works, I know it's a good one, I just have a tendency to hang on to it. Just like the motorhome. We got back from Rock. Me and Sue was talking about this the other day. She said something about it, and I said, maybe I just ought to sell it. We don't go anywhere. I mean, with gas prices and stuff, it's been sitting over here in storage. I got it under roof. I like to keep it out of the weather. And it's been sitting over there since we got back from Rockport. We got back from Rockport like April the 2nd, somewhere, 3rd, right in that area. And it's been sitting over there ever since. Now I'm paying like $200 a month for storage. Think about that. I don't go anywhere. I can't because of the price of gas. $200 a month and it just sits there. It just doesn't make sense, does it? So we thought about selling it. We've talked about it a couple of times. Well, guess what? I still have it. It's still sitting over there, and I'm still paying the $200 a month because I know it's a good one. I mean, ask Sue; she'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you. It's easy peasy. It drives good. It runs great. Gas mileage is pretty good. It averages around 10 miles to the gallon. Best I ever got was 12.2. The worst I ever got was like 8.1, and that was in a windstorm. But other than that, I mean, it just runs great. The air conditioner works, everything works. And let me tell you, when it comes to an RV, to be able to say that everything works and everything is good is hard to say because most RVs always have something wrong. Always. They're like a boat. There's always something to fix. And mine, if there's anything to fix on there, it's just very, very minor stuff. But even every light bulb in it, I changed all the lights inside to LED. So other than getting the oil changed, I guess, if I wanted to go somewhere tomorrow, all I got to do is change the oil and I'm ready to go. So that's why I hang on to it. But I have really seriously thought about selling it, like I've thought about selling everything else, and like I've sold nothing. God, I don't know. What does the moderator do? Easy, Bill. You watch the comments. You don't have to watch them all the time because remember, you're not going to be the only moderator. Wrestler will do it. You watch what Wrestler does, that's what you do. You welcome new people that come to the stream. You say, welcome to the stream or whatever. And you remind people because they have a tendency to forget. They get to reading things. Some of these people on the chat will talk to each other. They're not talking to me. So you remind them, don't forget to give us a thumbs up because that goes a long way for YouTube to recommend my videos to other people to get more subscribers to my channel. And, stuff like that. And if somebody comes on, somebody we don't even know, comes on there and starts making nasty comments about anybody, or they come on here making a lot of political statements. It's okay to make a political statement in general, but don't come on here and say something nasty about somebody, about political something. It's just something to stay away from. You know what I mean? And or religious stuff. I mean, we just generally just don't talk about it. I always felt like religion's a personal thing, and whatever they believe in, that's what they believe in. It doesn't mean I like them or dislike them. I'm not that way. I don't care that you're a Catholic. Bad joke, I know. Forget it. Just ignore me. Man, there sure is a lot of golf carts running around here tonight. Oh, that's next door. Never mind. No, it ain't. He turned around to go out the other way. He must be lost. You'd be surprised how many people get lost inside a neighborhood. Yeah, he just turned around to go back. He went to the wrong house. But yeah, if you see something nasty going on, somebody talking nasty crap, you kick them off. You got two ways of doing it. 3 buttons out to the right side there. You can either put them in what they call timeout. If it's something they say that's not real bad, you just kind of put them in timeout. It puts them in where they can't make a comment on the channel anymore for, like, say, 20 minutes, and then they come back in again. Or you can put them in what I call YouTube jail. That's the block button. It puts them in an area that they go to jail forever. And the only one that can let them out is me, because you don't have access to that area. And, generally speaking, when one of my moderators puts them in YouTube jail, I don't take them out pretty easy because you know something maybe that I don't know, that I didn't see. So I pretty much back my moderators on all that. I've only let 2 people out of YouTube jail because I talked to them and I couldn't prove anything, so I let them out. But I got to tell you, after letting 2 of them out, one of them went back in within 2 weeks because I should have just left. Well, anyway, that's what you do. If somebody comes on and says, if a porn channel comes in here and starts putting on their website, to get people to go to a porn channel, that happens once in a while. You kick them off. That's what a moderator does, and you'll have that power. Once I make you a moderator, you will have them buttons appear with them different choices on it. Right now, you don't have that, but you will have. Well, follow Jerry Bell's lead. Follow WrestleMania's lead. Just kind of look, and you'll see what they're doing. I'll make you a moderator, and you don't have to do anything right away. But watch and see what they do. Kind of get an idea what they do, and then you'll kind of know what to do. Wrestler's the best at it. Wrestler, Kevin Jockway is pretty good. Phil B is pretty good. But I think Phil's in Texas right now. So, yeah, that's all it is. You just kind of keep things clean. Oh, Bill B, you are now a moderator. AJ Wells says YouTube jail. It's just what I call it. YouTube calls it something else. I don't know what they call it, but I just call it YouTube jail because I think it sounds better. It's just like, the Buc-ee's gas stations. The Bucky or the Beaver, whatever they call them, snack things, Beaver Nuggets. I like them. I don't call them Beaver Nuggets. I think it sounds better to call them Bucky Nuts. So that's what I call them. I got Linda on her when she was traveling. I got her a couple of bags of Bucky Nuts when she stopped by Rockport when we was down there, and I think between her and Roy, they ate 1 or 2 bags of them on their way back to Florida. So I got a feeling that she liked her Bucky Nuts. Well, I'll tell you, AJ, if you're going to go to a Buc-ee's, some are bigger than others. We usually go to the ones along. Well, now you can go to Indiana now, and there's Buc-ee's almost all the way to Indiana now, up 75. You go to 10. It starts at Robertsdale, Alabama. There's a Buc-ee's there, and then all the way through Texas, of course, there's Buc-ee's everywhere. But some are bigger than others. But if you go to not one of the smaller ones, but a bigger one, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a big Walmart store, I guess, inside, and they sell their brand hats with the beaver picture on it, T-shirts. They sell food inside, breakfast, coffee. God, anything you can imagine. And the reason why I like going there in the RV is they got a huge parking lot out front with 100 gas pumps. So it's real easy to take a big unit and swing around and get into the pump and get out. It's not like the small gas stations. And that's really the reason why I like going there, is because of that. Drew Aretha says, how did I meet Sue? We were kids, 16 years old. I had my 57 Chevy. I didn't have to work that day. I worked at United Oil in the summer to get extra money to fix up my old car. I was the guy that wiped the windshields, pumped your gas, checked your tire pressure, your oil, had the little changer on the belt. Remember all that? That was me. That's what I did in the summer. And I got extra money to not just buy gas, but to fix up my car. Well, another guy that worked at that station with me, we called him Cue Ball. That was just a nickname, Cue Ball. And we was out just riding around one day, kids riding around. We had our places to ride around. In Anderson, it was north on Broadway, up at the Frisch's Big Boy Drive-In. If you guys have ever seen that movie, what is that movie? It's got Ron Howard in it and a bunch of kids, and they got Mel's Diner, and the girls are running around in roller skates, taking stuff and hooking it on your window. And anyway, that's where we used to go cruising. There's a place just like that. And then when it closed, we just went cruising around. And we were over by a truck stop. Back then, it was a 76 truck stop. But across the street was this little local cafe called the Cardinal, or Cardinal Inn. The Cardinal, anyway. So we stopped over there, got a Coke, maybe a burger or something, I don't know. And I said something about going out riding around or whatever. He said, well, maybe we ought to stop by my cousin's house and pick them up. I didn't think anything about it. I said, okay, where are they at? And he said, oh, just down the road here a little ways. So I said, okay, let's go get them. So we went down there and we pulled in the driveway. I didn't go in. He went in to get them. And he comes back out and gets in the car, and he goes, she'll be out here in a minute. She's just getting out of the shower. I looked at him and go, she? He said, yeah, my cousin. I thought we was picking up a dude. I thought, oh, my God, we're picking up a girl. So anyway, she goes riding around with us a little bit, and I don't know. I mean, I guess it worked out okay. So I asked her for a date, I think, to go to the South Drive-In. We had the outdoor drive-ins. You remember them? To go to the South Drive-In. Well, in Anderson, we have two drive-ins called the North Drive-In and the South Drive-In. So I was going to take her to the South Drive-In. Well, as I picked her up my 57 Chevy, and we was riding down Highway 67 to head back toward Anderson, there's street lights. And I remember looking over at Sue, and the street light was shining in, and I don't know what went through my head, but as soon as I looked over at her, my thought was, I'm going to marry her. And I did. And that's it. Oh, Bill B, look at you. You got your ranch and everything. You're looking sexy, dude. I don't know what you guys are talking about, and I don't think I really want to know. Let me read something to you guys. Jerry Bell says, crayons and stick figures is right up my alley. I don't want to know anymore. You could read a lot into that. All right, that's the end of that. It's dark. I'm going to let you guys go. Sorry it was late. Let me get the light on here. Wait a minute. At least you can halfway see me. Um, we just had a lot of running around to do. I can get some video done. And, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Doggone it. Come on. Turn on. Doggone it. Wait a minute. Doggone it. Now I'm poking the wrong buttons. Oh, this could be part of the blooper reel. Um, like I say, I will put that blooper out there when I get it. It'll be a while because there's a lot of work to it. It'll be on Patreon and YouTube members only. I'm not putting it on the public YouTube thing. I'm not trying to force anybody to be a member or nothing. I'm just telling you that's where I'm going to put it because I know I'll be okay there. But if I put it on public, I don't know who may want to watch it 6 months from now. See, that's the thing, and I don't want to do that. So, anyway, thanks for coming. News Friday. It's a big news day. I think it ended up being somewhere in the neighborhood of like 35 minutes long. Sorry for it being for so long, but only thing I'll say is it comes out at 6 o'clock Friday. Patrons get it tomorrow. YouTube members will get it tomorrow. Commercial free. No commercials on Patreon and YouTube members. And then the regular YouTube channel will get it Friday with commercials. I got to make a buck somewhere. And it's going to be a long one. It's going to be about 35 minutes long, I think. So get your popcorn, your iced tea, and sit back and listen to the reports about all the zoo animals. All right, dudes and dudettes. See you all later.